Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. Happy New Year. We haven't been together for a while, Jim.
We have not. We were Skyping. I got
We were
a few
Skyping,
comments
that's
on
right.
that. They see people still enjoyed
Worked
it.
a little.
Got the info out.
We're back.
Yeah.
We had our board meeting last night, and it was a long one. But we had a lot to do. So first off, we had our NRTA administrator in talking about briefly a survey that the NRTA is doing about year-round shuttle service. I think there was a card that went in the mail. In fact, I got one in the mail. I think that's where I got it. I'm pretty sure I did. And it had a QR code on it, and that's how I took the survey, with my phone. But you can also go online, and there are here's the thing. There's public input workshops on next Monday the 11th and Tuesday the 12th. If people want to go in person to learn more or give comments about the possibility of year-round shuttle service, or just go to their website, nrtawave, all one word.com.
All right. When you're driving around right now, there is nobody here.
Exactly.
I mean, do we really need year-round service? I mean, people are going to ask that, and then how much is it going to cost?
Well, I think this will all be laid out.
Okay.
I'm going to refrain from saying what I think about it.
All right, let me ask
So now you
you
probably
this,
know what I
though.
think about it.
Is it possible to take a break in January and
Yeah,
February?
I'm sure it would be very limited. It would be very specific.
Okay.
And it would be, targeted to, they're doing a survey, the survey is also meant to figure out where people would want to use it from. So it's not going to be, the full-blown seasonal service that we have. It would be quite limited.
I know for a fact that people would appreciate to have it longer hours in season.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yes, and more places to go in
Yes,
season.
yes.
So there's a lot of decisions to be made here because there's only so much money. There's not, a big pot of money for this. And there's certainly not going to make any money by offering year-round service. So it's going to have to be paid for somehow. But there may be some possibility of some state money and whatever. But Paul is working on it, and we're going to see how it goes. We also had a county commissioners meeting last night, and the one item on the agenda had to do with what was a public hearing pertaining to the extension of the Hummock Pond Road bike path. This was the second public hearing we had by law, and it was basically a hearing to consider taking easements so that the bike path can be built. The easements have to be taken from private property owners. So there was some concern about different things like are you going to put my fence back? What's my liability going to be now? So most of that was, I think, pretty well answered, but I'm not sure on one person if they felt it was. But anyway, the long story short, board approved the takings, and so that will enable the bike path to move forward. And our hope is that this project will be put out to bid very shortly, and we will have a constructed bike path for the summer.
And we are talking about a bike path that runs along the cemetery side, right?
Correct. The cemetery side, it'll go from where the bike path ends now at the Vesper Lane intersection to Mount Vernon Street along the cemetery side, so opposite the observatory
And the taking
side.
is because you're not going to go that far into the cemetery. So
No,
you have to add a little bit more to the other side.
Yep.
And you're not taking that much from
No,
those
that's
homeowners.
not very much at all. And some people, whether they maybe know it or not, or like it or not, they do have items in the town right of way now. So those items shouldn't technically even be there, but if you know what I mean, like hedges and driveways and irrigation systems and things like that.
So does that mean that if you're coming from the hospital and you get to the top of Prospect Street or what, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to get to the bike path? Do you still have to come down through there?
Well, right now you still have to come down through. You could probably navigate your way if you know what you're doing behind there into Chicken Hill. There is a project under engineering right now to establish an actual path through there, a signed, partially paved path that would lead over to Joy Street, and then you could go down Joy to Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
To
That's gonna
go
be
on the
great
bike
when it's
path,
done.
and eventually we would like to plan that you could also access the Matticat bike path via Wynn Street, but that's a little ways
is that
off.
coming too?
It's
Down
coming.
there? Yeah.
It's coming.
That'll be amazing.
So then we had a Board of Selectmen's meeting, and our items on the board meeting were, we had a public hearing on the fiscal 17 general fund budget. Normally, we don't get a lot of public comment on this, and we really didn't, but it's a step in our process. And today, the Finance Committee kind of takes over the budget process and reviews a lot of the departmental budgets and all of the other things that go into the budget in preparation for town meeting. One of the biggest discussions might have been the 4th of July, would you say? Although that actually didn't go on like I thought it was. I thought there would be more talk about it, but maybe people are a little bit understanding what the challenges are. The board approved the 4th of July fireworks to actually occur on Sunday, July 3rd. The Main Street activities, the town-sponsored items, the water fight and so on, will continue to be on Monday, the 4th. The rain date for the fireworks will be the 5th. And the reason for all of this basically is because in order to shut down the No-Bodeer Beach Party and the other places where this beach party might move to when people realize No-Bodeer is getting shut down, requires so many resources. We can't handle the beach parties, the Main Street activities, and the fireworks all in one day, even with some expected assistance from the state police. There's a lot to this whole thing. We've had people say, just hire some more police officers or private security. Those things are not available to us. Everybody's 4th of July is on the same day. They all have a lot of these same challenges. People can't spare it for us. We're lucky.
I don't have a problem with fireworks happening.
I personally, I don't either, but yeah. It's
People
not
are
like
getting used to that.
Well, I mean, not everybody has them on the 4th. Yeah, there's rain delays. There's just people, for a variety of reasons, some towns hold it on a different day anyway. Anyway, so that, that's the situation. I think some people have expressed, they're unhappy because the fireworks belong on the 4th and it's all about the 4th, which I don't totally disagree with that. But unfortunately, hopefully this will be the only year we have to do it. And then we can go back to the 4th once this party is more dealt with. But
what's with this party? I don't get it. Is there a problem?
It's a massive party, Gino, and there's a lot of underage drinking. There's a lot of very bad behavior. There's a lot of trash left behind. People trample through, the partygoers trample through people's yards. They leave all kinds of messes behind, many messes. They use the dunes for toilets. Never mind that there's a stack of porta potties.
Couldn't that be an isolated incident? And if we
no, because it's been growing.
It just keeps growing?
It keeps growing.
So there's a chance that it's going to happen again?
I'm sure there is a chance it's going to happen again. Yeah. But we're going to do everything we can to contain it, shut it down, make it smaller, try to eliminate these problems.
And do they party right there on No-Bodeer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, they go elsewhere too. I mean, it's not.
But that's where all the kids go anyway, right?
Well, I think so. Yeah, it's a kid's place. But you can have fun there and all that without the drinking.
Well, that's true.
I mean, now
If
I will
they're
admit
underage,
that
they're not supposed to be drinking, right?
no, they're not. And I will sort of admit that I was there one time.
Uh-oh. Do you have photos?
I don't know.
I want to see it.
I hope not.
And I know the viewers
It
want
was
to
a
see
while
it.
ago.
Got to see it.
Wasn't recent. Or maybe it was, because I'm not,
Oh, yeah. Who would know?
Who would
right?
know? I was there last year. No, of course I was not there last year.
That's probably one of the few places you could go without anybody knowing you.
You're probably right. I could
Right?
I could probably fit right in there.
Fit right in. We'll be looking for you this summer.
Okay, yeah, see, yeah. We could be like, where's Waldo? You could try to pick me out in that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
No, of course we're kidding. Anyway, so that's what happened on the 4th of July. We also had our quarterly energy report from the energy coordinator, Lauren Sinatra, and she always does a really good, thorough job about all the energy initiatives she's into. We talked about the
What
town.
was the guy? There was a guy that came in. What was he? What was that all about?
He was from a group called Sun Edison, which is working with us in the airport on a solar project at the airport.
Because this is big stuff that's
yeah,
coming.
there's a lot
We're
to
gonna
it.
be there.
We're going to be there.
I mean, it's
let's hope we're
coming
going to be
and
there.
there's no doubt about
There
it.
are some challenges and hurdles to deal with to get solar at the airport, but so he was just kind of
I've just a question about solar energy.
Yeah.
Because I was on the Cape, I stopped at one of those kiosks in the mall, and I talked to a Solar City.
Oh.
Okay, that's Musk is, the Musk guy. That's his company. The guy that puts the battery on your wall, and you can generate power and then generate from that. You've heard about this guy?
No.
Anyway, they can't come to Nantucket yet.
Okay.
They can't sell to Nantucket yet. Is that because of our HDC rules and?
Oh, you mean
about-
solar panels, are you talking about?
Yeah. Because-
It might be, although the HTC has recently approved solar shingles. So, but panels, there are some solar panels around.
Is
But
it-
I do,
Can you put solar panels on your house if it's not in the historic district?
I think there are some criteria that the HTC uses about solar panels, and it has to do with from where you can see them.
Okay, it does.
And
have to-
it has to do with the old historic district also, I'm sure.
Okay,
So there was some talk about that, and Lauren had somebody from National Grid in talking about the NWA project, Non-Wires Alternative, which is a series of actions meant to delay the need for a third electric cable. And she has a whole bunch of literature on this. They're using items using less energy using things during peak demand, like turn your air conditioner down a few degrees between whatever the peak demand time is, 4 in the afternoon till 7 o'clock at night, something like that. Anyway, she's got a whole lot of stuff on that. It's been really interesting. We talked about the 2016 annual town meeting warrant, and we had a very rough draft to go over with the board. We got a lot of articles coming up. Almost all of them still need to be refined. We're going to be doing that again next week. We had 2 HDC appeals. Boy, those take a long time. They're tedious. I'm not going to kid you about that. They are.
what were they?
One had to do with a property in Matticat, C Street, and this had already been a hearing before the board several weeks ago, and the board had put the decision off till this meeting, and eventually they remanded it back to the HDC, so the HDC will hear it again.
What was the problem?
I don't remember.
Because that's really what people.
It had to
want.
do with a building that the HDC approved that the abutters did not approve
Oh,
of.
okay.
The other was a similar situation, 6 Marble Way, a large commercial building was approved by the HDC, and neighbors felt that it was out of scale in the neighborhood. And it was looking to me like the board was going to uphold the HDC for a while there, and then they started to have second thoughts and they wanted to think about it a little more, and that decision was delayed 2 weeks.
Okay.
Next week, we have a workshop meeting, our monthly workshop meeting. We have 3 main topics, and we're going to be talking about the warrant again. We are going to be talking about ways to get in and out of town on bikes. This is a continuing discussion of a discussion we've been having for a few months now. We are going to hear from our right-of-way committee about some of the activities they've been up to. And we are going to get a cost update on the upcoming sewer projects. We've had our engineers take a good hard look at current costs because of municipal projects coming in all over the state, region really, higher than what the appropriations and available funding has been. So we want to make sure we're not going to fall into that with all of our projects, but this one needed a cost update, and it is more. So we're going to be hearing about that and how that might impact the abutters and the betterment assessments and the tax rate and all of that.
One thing you did forget was the fertilizer issue.
Oh, right.
That was pretty interesting.
I specifically didn't put that on here.
You didn't.
It was a little
want to talk about it.
tedious.
Yeah, but
It's just a little complicated, that's all. Because, so, we had a presentation from our health director about the implementation of our fertilizer regulations, which are Board of Health regulations that limit, that regulate the application of fertilizer. However, there are constitutional issues with what you can and can't do as far as the application of fertilizer goes. The board was talking about, well, let's just ban fertilizer. You can't legally do that. Let's go on to people, maybe not yet. You can't go onto people's private property and tell them they can't. Well, I guess you could go onto people's private property and say you can't apply the fertilizer like you're doing. This is commercial only. This isn't residential, people. So if you do your own landscaping and lawn maintenance and stuff, this does not really apply to you.
But it should.
Well, I mean, that's
Shouldn't it?
another thing.
I mean, Libby, we're fixing the sewers for a reason.
Right.
Isn't it water quality that we're
Yes,
talking
it
about?
is. And that's a very good point, because some of the board members feel, and this is quite reasonable, one of the causes of water quality degradation is fertilizer and nitrogen. Nitrogen comes from fertilizer, comes from other things as well. But fertilizer is one source that I think could be voluntarily restricted or limited, which would help the water quality. And maybe that would delay or negate the need for these expensive sewer projects in certain areas of the island. That's the thinking. So we're going to probably have some additional legal review of these regulations. And in the meantime, we're going to get much more aggressive about our enforcement. And we have a plan for that with some staffing that's going to be coming on board in the spring. And so if you use a commercial landscaper, or if you are a commercial landscaper, you should really be using the best management practices that are laid out as in accordance with the regulations, and not, loading up your customers with, green lawn mix.
It's pretty obvious,
That's
isn't it, though?
I'm not really saying that.
Isn't it
right.
pretty obvious when you know somebody's using a lot of fertilizer?
I would think so. But
I mean,
maybe not.
If
Maybe
that's
a green lawn can come from other methods.
Well, if it does, then we should know about it so everybody can use it, and then it's not a problem anymore.
That's true. Exactly. Anyway, there's going to be more on this, I'm sure. Wow, I think that's it. Oh, I did want to mention, because this is coming up, next Thursday, January 14th, probably more than one, or the initial public hearing for the 40B at 106 Surfside Road, called Surfside Commons, is starting. The meeting starts at 1 o'clock. I think this item isn't scheduled to start at 1, more like closer to 1:30 at the Fort Fairgrounds Road building. So if people are interested in that project, this would be the time to go and express your opinion or hear the discussion.
Okay.
What else?
What about your New Year's? Was that good? You look,
My,
any New Year's resolutions?
I took, no, I don't really do that.
Oh.
Maybe I'll reveal one. I'm trying to use bad words less.
Oh, Libby.
My children
Do you
probably
really
laugh
use that
if they
many
heard
bad
that.
words? You do.
Not in public. I
Just
don't
around
think.
the house.
Try to use them in the car.
Yeah.
Sometimes they fall out of my mouth in the office. Everybody does it. It's like a peer thing. If you don't do it, then
That's a
you're.
good New Year's resolution.
I'm trying to use bad words less.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a great couple of weeks off from the town of Nantucket, mostly. It was really, really nice.
Yeah.
I cleaned, and we got our dog. And
Oh, you got a new dog. Have you not had a dog before?
I have had a dog growing up, but so far with my family and my children, we have not had a dog. We've talked a lot
Did
about
the kids want it? Is that?
Oh, the kids desperately wanted a
Yeah.
dog. It's hard when you're both parents working to have a dog, but we're just going to figure it out. And so far, it's been great, except for the shoe
Bring
chewing.
her in sometime? Is it a chance?
I'll bring her in sometime.
Yeah, I'd like to see her running around.
Yes. I'm very much more aware of the cleanup aspect of a dog, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm now really hypersensitive to it. I was a little hypersensitive to it before I had a dog, but now that I have a dog, I'm a really aggressive picker-upper.
Mm-hmm.
And I really I don't understand people who leave their dog's mess behind like on the sidewalk or on the bike path or.
I don't see it that often downtown. Do you?
Not often, but from time to time, deal with it.
We're pretty good about it.
It's your dog, deal with it. We don't want to look at that.
I think most people are pretty good about it.
I think most people have gotten much better.
Yeah, they have gotten much better.
And there's a lot of dispensers around. There should be no shortage of ways to clean up after that.
Yep.
But anyway, maybe you can start thinking about another dog too.
I can't. I'm too mobile right now.
You are very mobile.
I do miss them having one. I love them.
Well, you could borrow my dog once or twice a week if you want. Like you could walk her at lunch.
And your dog has a little bit of pit in it, right?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
They said you can get a DNA test on your dog, and sometimes the results are very surprising. What you think the dog really is, it turns out not at all to be that.
Oh,
yeah, it was. We were talking to Lori from the animal shelter, and she was really interesting about it.
So it's a small dog. It's not
She's
a very big.
She's kind of small. No,
Yeah,
not very big.
Yeah.
She can hop in the car easily.
Oh,
and
good.
Very good on.
Okay.
And so you had a good trip. Are we going to see video of your trip?
Oh yeah, we got a big show coming from a local Nantucketer who.
Oh yes, your surprise local Nantucketer. Can you say who it was now or no?
Yeah, Brian Fitzgibbon. Some of the folks
yes.
out there may know him. He's a house painter. 6 months he lives here, and then 6 months he's married, and he has 3 houses that he's set up. One in the city, a surf cottage, and then this mountain, this paradise in the mountains.
Oh,
And
nice.
I mean, he's a house painter, and he's
Wow.
got this. You see it.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's really.
Okay, thanks very much,